The streets of Gotham were eerily quiet, save for the faint sound of the wind rustling through the alleyways. It was a city at the edge of chaos, a city that never seemed to rest. The neon lights flickered like distant stars, casting an unsettling glow on the darkened streets. In the distance, the ominous silhouette of Gotham's largest bank loomed. But tonight, this imposing structure, a symbol of the city's wealth and power, was something else entirely, a prison, held hostage by the one man who thrived on chaos. Inside the bank, the Joker grinned from ear to ear. His green hair was wild, his purple suit a chaotic contrast to the cold, sterile environment around him. The chaos was his masterpiece. He'd taken control of Gotham's financial heart with nothing more than his usual brand of madness and violence. "Do you know why I love banks?" he asked, his voice carrying over the subdued whispers of the terrified hostages huddled in the corner. He waved the detonator in his hand, a cruel smile stretching across his face. "Because they're full of money. And money. Oh, money can buy so many things. But it can't buy happiness." His cackle echoed through the cavernous space of the bank's main lobby. On the roof of a nearby building, a shadow moved against the skyline. Silent, quick, and purposeful, the dark night surveyed the scene below. Gotham was never quiet for long, and tonight, its most dangerous criminal was once again making his presence felt. "Joker," Batman muttered under his breath, his voice low but steady. His cowl hid the furrowed brow, the determination etched on his face. He was ready. He had to be. With a swift motion, Batman descended, his cape billowing out behind him like a dark storm cloud. He landed softly on the edge of the bank's exterior, and for a moment, he took in the layout of the building. Through the windows, he could see the Joker's men moving about inside. The hostages were scared, but for now, they were safe. At least, as safe as they could be with the Joker in charge. Sliding through a narrow opening in the building's side, Batman made his way into the bank's interior. His eyes narrowed as he took in the chaos before him. The Joker's laughter echoed in the halls like the sound of a ticking time bomb. Without warning, Batman stepped into the main lobby. The Joker paused, his maniacal grin faltering for just a moment. Then, as if the sight of Batman fueled his madness, he threw his head back and laughed. Well, the Bat finally shows up. "And here I thought you'd left Gotham for good, Bats," Joker jeered, his eyes gleaming with dangerous excitement. He twirled the detonator in his hands, as though it were a toy. "But I knew you'd come. You always do. You just can't resist a good little showdown, can you?" Batman didn't flinch. He stood tall, his body a silhouette of calm strength against the chaos of the room. He could hear the faint sound of the bomb's timer ticking in the background, but he didn't let that distract him. His focus was on the Joker, the man responsible for countless deaths in Gotham. This time, Batman wasn't going to let him slip away. "You're done, Joker," Batman's voice was cold and controlled. "Release the hostages and surrender. It's over." Joker chuckled, his laugh high-pitched and unhinged. "Oh, it's never over, Bats. You know that. This is just the beginning. You and I are like two sides of the same coin. You bring order, and I bring chaos. We're perfect for each other, don't you think?" Batman's expression never wavered. "Not anymore." The Joker's grin never left his face as he signaled his men. At once, the room erupted into chaos. A handful of thugs, armed with knives, guns, and sheer crazed enthusiasm, rushed forward, eager to fight the Bat. Batman was ready. With a speed that only years of training could provide, Batman moved like a blur. His fists struck with precision, disarming one thug before flipping him onto the ground. Another lunged with a knife, but Batman sidestepped the attack and incapacitated him with a swift punch to the face. The sounds of blows landing, grunts, and the occasional gunshot filled the air. But the Joker's men were no match for Batman's skill. Within minutes, the thugs were scattered across the room, nursing injuries or lying unconscious. Yet Batman knew that the real battle was yet to come. The Joker had to be stopped. He could hear the Joker laughing in the distance, that maddening, hollow sound that made his blood boil. The hostages, freed from immediate danger, huddled together on the far side of the room, too terrified to move. Now it was just the two of them. Batman stepped forward, his cape flowing behind him like a shadow of justice. Joker was standing near a column, his back to Batman, and his laughter still rang through the air. "What's wrong, Batman? Why so serious?" Joker mocked. He turned around, still holding the detonator in his hand, but his expression shifted into something more dangerous. The madness in his eyes was palpable. "You're not going to win this time, Joker," Batman said, his voice low and steady. "Oh, I think I already have," Joker replied, his voice gleaming with arrogance. "The timer's ticking, Bats. What are you going to do now? Save the hostages, or stop me? You can't do both." Batman didn't hesitate. He lunged forward, closing the distance between them in an instant. Joker's eyes widened, but he wasn't afraid. He was excited, thrilled even. As Batman's fist swung toward him, Joker blocked it with the detonator, laughing all the while. "You always were predictable," Joker taunted. But then, in a blur of movement, he threw his crowbar at Batman. Batman dodged, but the Joker wasn't finished. He rushed forward, swinging the crowbar wildly. Batman was able to block the first strike with his forearm, but the second hit him across the chest, throwing him back into a nearby pillar. Batman shook off the pain, rising to his feet. Joker was already coming at him again, his eyes wild with unrestrained glee. But Batman was faster. He ducked under the next swing, grabbing the Joker by the wrist and twisting the crowbar from his hand. In the blink of an eye, Batman had Joker pinned to the ground, his knee on the criminal's chest, his hands gripping the Joker's wrists, preventing him from fighting back. Batman was relentless. He could feel Joker's body writhing beneath him, his laughter still echoing in the air, but Batman wasn't moved. He held the Joker's wrists firmly, refusing to allow him any more chance to escape or fight back. The Joker, his face now strained with exhaustion, stopped laughing. For a brief moment, Batman thought he saw something like frustration in the Joker's wild eyes. But even then, the Joker didn't yield. His grin remained, though it was quieter now. Batman leaned down, his voice barely above a whisper. "It's over, Joker. You've lost," and for the first time in years, the Joker's laughter stopped. Within minutes, the Gotham City Police arrived, led by Commissioner Gordon. Officers swarmed the bank, apprehending the Joker's henchmen and securing the hostages. The Joker was handcuffed, his maniacal grin still plastered across his face, but there was nothing he could do now. Batman watched from the shadows as the police took the Joker into custody. He stayed hidden, a silent guardian in the night. The city's protector had done his job, and Gotham was safe, for now. As the officers led the Joker away, Batman disappeared into the night, his cape fluttering behind him like a dark whisper. He was a shadow in Gotham's streets, always watching, always waiting. Tonight, the battle was over. But in Gotham, the war was never truly won. The battle may be over, but the war for Gotham never ends. When chaos rises, Gotham's protector will always return. The Joker will be back.
And the fight for Gotham's soul continues. Subscribe, stay vigilant, Gotham needs you.